mistake, but you've stalled long enough, and you're still standing stuck in this stuff, in these steps. Better run along home and avoid the collision. Even though they don't care, you'll be better off there where there's nothing to choose, so there's nothing to lose. So you pry up your shoes, then crawl out of the blue, and without any guide, you know what your decision is, which is not to decide. You'll just leave him a clue. For example, a shoe, and then see what he'll do. Now it's he and not you who'll be stuck with a shoe in a stew, in the goo. And you've learned something too, something you never knew. On the steps of the palace. Woo! Let me put my shoes back on. Thank you for coming to my recital. I'm so happy you're all here. We have a great program for you tonight. I'm really excited about all of it. I'm not going to try to talk too much, but everything you need to know is in the programs. There's a little bit of a blurb before each song that tells you what the character is and what the scene looks like. And then there's like a longer bit in the back that talks about what I like about the song and why I think it's important. And that's all I'm going to say for now. Oh, and I'm going to take a couple of breaks at the end of these like thematic groupings that you see in the programs. I'm going to run out there, and I'm going to take another quick step out during the fourth set as well. Okay. I stick with the real things, usually facts and figures. When information's in its place, dynamite's the guessing game. Guess what? I don't like guessing games or when I feel things before I know the feelings. How am I supposed to operate if I'm just tossed around by fate? On an unexpected date with a stranger who might talk too fast or ask me questions about myself before I've decided that he could ask me questions about myself. He might sit too close or call the waiter by his first name or eat Oreos, but eat the cookie before the cream. But what scares me the most is what if when he sees me, what if he doesn't like it, what if he runs the other way and I can't hide from it? What happens then if when he knows me, he's only disappointed? What if I give myself away to only get it given back? I couldn't live with that. So I'm just fine inside my shell, shaped by this way. I get the best view. So that when he sees me, I want him to. I'm not defensive, I'm simply being cautious. I can't risk a reckless state in doom. I'm miscalculating while a certain suitor stands in line. I've seen in movies, most made for television. You cannot be too careful when it comes to sharing your life. I could end up a miserable wife. Well, he could be criminal, some sort of psychopath who escaped from an institution somewhere where they don't have girls. He could have masterminded some way to find me. He could be colorblind. How untrustworthy is that? He could be less than kind, or even worse, he could be very nice and have lovely eyes and make me laugh. Come out of hiding. What do I do with that? Oh God, what if when he sees me, I like him and he knows it? What if he opens up a door and I can't close it? What happens then if when he holds me, my heart is set in insecure due to some long frustration, may react with psychosomatic symptoms difficult to endure, affecting the upper respiratory tract. In other words, just from waiting around for that plain little band of gold, a person can develop a cold. You can spray it wherever you figure the straps are cockeyed. Like, you can give her a shot for whatever she's got, but it just won't work. If she's tired of getting the fisheye from the hotel clique, that person can develop a cold. It says here, the female remaining single, just in the legal sense, shows an erotic tendency, see note, with chronic organic syndromes, toxic or hypertense, involving the eye, the ear, the nose, and the throat. In other words, just from worrying whether the wedding is on or off, a person can develop a cough. You can feed her all day with the vitamin A and the Bravo Fizz, but the medicine never gets anywhere near where the trouble is. If she's getting a kind of a name for herself and the name ain't his, a person can develop a cough. And furthermore, just from stalling a wedding trip, a person can develop blood grip. When they get on the train to Niagara, she can hear change bells chime. The compartment is air conditioned and the mood sublime. Then they get off at Saratoga for the 20th time. A person can develop blood grip, la post-nasal drip, with the wheezes and the sneezes and a sinus that's really okay. From a lack of community property and a feeling she's getting too old, a person can develop a big bad cold. until they aren't. Flowers bloom until they rot and fall apart. Is anybody listening? I open my mouth and nothing comes out. Nothing's gonna wake me now. Flowers, I remember fields of flowers, soft beneath my wheels, walking in the sun. I remember someone by my side, turned his face to mine, and then I turned away into the shade. You, the one I left behind. If you ever walk this way, come and find me lying in the bed I made. Not a day goes by, not a single day. You're not somewhere a part of my life, and it looks like you'll stay as the days go by. I keep thinking, when does it end? There's the day I'll have started forgetting, but I just go on thinking and sweating and cursing and crying and turning and reaching and waiting and dying, and no, not a day goes by, not a blessed day, or not somewhere a part of my life, and you won't go away, so there's hell to pay, and until I die, I'll die day after day after day after day after day after day after day, till the days go by, till the days go by, till the days go by. short and loving life. That ain't so bad. You don't know this man. You don't know a thing. You come here with these horrifying stories, these contemptible conceits, and you say you understand how a man's heart beats, but you don't know a thing. You don't know this man. You don't even try. When a man writes his mother every Sunday, pays his bills before they're due, works so hard to feed his family, there's your murderer for you. And you stand there spitting words that you know aren't true. Then you don't know this man. I don't think you can. You don't have the right to know a man that wise and good. He's a decent man. He is an honest man. And you don't know. my stars and my ocean. We can never go back to before. We can never go back to before. Did that really just happen? Have I actually understood this weird quirk I've tried to suppress or hide is a talent that could help me meet the wizard if I make good? So I'll make good. When I meet the wizard, once I prove my worth, well, then I'll meet the wizard. What I've waited for since That I'm changed. by the time you've woken up, I'll be cool, I'll be collected, and I'll have found some dignity. But who needs dignity? Because this is so much better. I'm radiating happiness. Will you stay here with me for the rest of the semester? We won't need any food. We'll live on sex alone. Sex with Joan! I am writing a thesis with Joan. It's a cutting-edge field and my mind is blown. I would gladly stay up every night to hone my compulsory skills with Joan. I will study my way down her spine, familiarize myself with her well-laid outline, while she researches mine. I don't know who I am. I've become someone new. Nothing I just did is anything I would do. Overnight everything changed. I'm not prepared. I'm dizzy, I'm nauseous, I'm shaky. I'm scared. Am I falling into nothingness? Or flying into something so sublime? I don't know. But I'm changing my major to Joan. I thought all my life I'd be all alone. That was before I was lying prone in this dorm room bed with Joan. Look, she drooled on the pillow. So sweet. All sweaty and tangled up in my bedsheet. And my heart feels complete. Let's never leave this room. How about we stay here till finals? I'll go to school forever. I'll take out a demented huge high-interest loan. 'Cause I'm changing my major to what should I do when it all falls down? 'Cause I gonna wipe the smile from that famous little clown. What's he gonna do when it all falls down? All the king's horses and all the king's men could never put poor Charlie together again. What's he gonna do when it all
and also here at Wellesley, we're really lucky to have the accompanyists we do because we have a small number of accompanists who cover a lot of students at a lot of levels with different goals, and we all get made to sound very good. And that's just really, it's so exciting, and it's such a great person to work with. Thank you to Kristen Lawler, my voice teacher back there. Much fun with this stuff as I do, and that's just makes putting together the program really fun, and finding ways into technique through the theater of it all, which is really useful to me. And I just love working with her, so thank you, Kristen. And then I don't know if Sonia's in the room, but I also wanted to thank Sonia, who was my first year voice teacher before Kristen was hired, because my transition into Wellesley was a bit tough, and voice lessons were hands down the best part of my week, and I still love Sonia and love using her and talking to her and all the things. I'm definitely forgetting people. Felicity in back, Sam down there. She's probably out the bar for most of you, but she is the concert manager among other things here. And I think during the program by saying that what I remember of her, which was like the first time that she said my name when I was walking down the halls, because I was like a sophomore and I hadn't really done too much in the music department yet, and I just felt like I felt so seen that she remembered my name, and there are a lot of students whose names she remembers and makes feel special, so that's really important. This next song is, well, I need to tune my guitar before I talk about that. Hopefully it's not that different than earlier today, but you never know. This next song is called Olympus, and I wrote it as a part of this project that I'm doing as part of my coursework as a music minor with Dr. Ronaldo Moya, who I think he was here earlier and left, but he also deserves a great thank you because it's been a joy working with him and getting to talk to him about why we like the music that we like, which is really simple and really valuable. And this song I chose because it's about goodbyes and taking things from, like, moving on and taking things with you, and particularly taking favorite things that have become your favorite thing with you. So that's what it is. It's warm in here. Gods that you praise still speak to me. children while I count millions of contradictions in my chest. They still dance free. I vex. Gods that you pray to, they still speak to me. They still rip me open wide, annihilate my pride when they say, Abigail, might as well put down your sword. If you want love, then what is all this fighting for? In these goodbyes